Coming at you from Scratch a Wolf Studio. It's that time again to rage across the internet. It's your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Porter. As always, sitting to my left, the man who will someday figure out the right button, Mr. Daniel Tyson.
Hey, everybody.
And also joined by our good friend, Mr. CJ.
Hey, y'all, how's it going?
And the wielder of the one true steak knife, Mr. C. Grant Rose.
How's everybody doing?
It's good to see you, gentlemen. Good to see you. It's kind of relative.
Hey, guys.
How we doing?
Doing good. It's good to be here.
Yeah, looking forward to doing another episode.
Right? It's been a minute. Not too many minutes, but it's been a minute.
Not too many. And another first.
Yeah, this is the first time we've got Grant and CJ in a room together.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think I'm getting close to your record now for appearances on the show.
Almost. If you count the Let's Play, you're probably past me, though.
Yeah, I don't know if the Let's Play counts.
Is it? I was going to say depends.
That's got to be a different thing.
If it's the Let's Play, if we're counting that, he wins.
Yeah.
Big facts.
But, you could narrow that margin because, it's not happening yet. In the future, when the game is in a better position, yeah, we'll be raffling off temporary spots in the game. Like a little one or two games, little tiny arc with a guest character. I know we're going to be raffling those off through our Ko-Fi. So, if you're not a backer, well, this, maybe not right now, but you could be right now. It's always a good time to back. And that's going to be through our Ko-Fi, through our donations. Early start donors are going to get like a bonus or something. We're working out the details.
Yeah, it's not there yet, but...
No, well, we're not reading the story yet either. But, that would be a great way for you to bridge the gap there, Grant.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to get a couple episodes in for sure.
Right. And, of course, you both are always welcome on the regular shows. And if there's a problem, we can always have you fight for the death and film that and put that as a backer award as well.
Oh, done. Absolutely done.
Pistols at dawn, baseball bats, pillowcases full of oranges. Pick your weapons, boys. But I think we could make that happen. Just another way of us saying thank you to those who choose to support us monetarily.
Say thank you with Apple cases. Apple cases.
Apple cases.
Say thank you.
Danny is now also offering Apple cases to our secret Moon Silver donors. Vendors and donors. We don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're done. All right, show's over.
Grant may have brought tequila, and...
You son of a bitch.
Maybe that's what's happening now.
Oranges and tequila. Actually sounds like a good time.
Well, don't forget
As long as we can get the music from the Thunderdome, I'm all for it.
We can do the music from the Thundercats.
No.
It's like Bastet. It'll be, it's like a crossover.
Thanks for the save.
You can crap in a box. Crap in an apple box. Danny, look at brought it home. So if this is your first show and you're confused, we don't really blame you.
I was going to say, yeah, me too.
This is Rage Across the Internet, the show where we talk about Werewolf the Apocalypse.
And
eventually
all the various aspects and lore behind it.
Yes. And today's one that we haven't done one of these in a while.
It's been a while, but we also had a few big ones, and that's what she said.
Wonk, wonk.
Send your complaints to Daniel Tyson, 123 Help Street.
Nope, we asked for them, and we made a separate room in our Discord.
Which you can get to, by the way, through the link in our website, which is rageacrosstheinternet.com.
Dot of the com.
Good enough.
Fix it in post.
Yeah, that's fine.
It works, right? You don't have enough sound bites of me saying .com by now just to add that shit into the end.
Oh, we don't have...
No. Why is that
we
can
need
to waste time on sound bites for?
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway.
Hey, I'm just proud that I left the .com out so the three of you, because we didn't have a fourth one.
Also what she said.
I'm very sorry for her.
Wow.
Ooh. Anyway, yes, we made a separate room on the Discord for people to send in the ideas. We're doing a tale of 3 wolves again. 3 storytellers, 1 MC, a whole bunch of story seeds. And these are all from our community.
Thank you, our community.
Yes. And we're going to try and leave out the backup ones that we've had from, the last, 7 or 8 times we've done this episode.
I ain't doing shit. This is on Danny now. If it's bad, blame him. Just send your complaints to
123 Elm Street. Again, we have them. It's a backup plan.
Isn't it 9304 River Boulevard?
I can somehow edit that to make it close.
I love the silence. Just
Damn.
Are we supposed to do something?
It's actually not even close to that at all.
Well, the funny thing is like when I went to call the other day, like, your address is in the phone, but I never go through contacts. I usually go through favorites. So I went through contacts that day, and I'm like, oh, I should use his real address and just give the wrong street name.
I was going to say...
But I didn't memorize it clearly because it's not that important to me.
Well, I was going to say, one of those words is in the address, and one of those numbers is in the number.
I'll fucking take it. That's like a C.
Yeah.
I didn't say the letter was a C. You fuck off, didn't you?
No, I'm just... out of how many you were right, it's like one word and one number.
One word and one number. See, little fucking... Yeah. It's a whole word. That's lots of letters. That's a lot of points.
You
fucking dance, monkey. What's her thing?
What are we talking about again? I'm so confused.
Well, welcome to the show.
Yeah, right.
Are you like giving us like, geo coordinates for Danny's house or something?
I'm about to. My phone's right here. Which, by the way, I will remind you, Grant, said if your phone rings during the show, you have to answer it on the air. So
I don't think you want that.
Sure, I do.
Nope.
Happened to me once.
It happened to Porter.
Yep.
He did it on air.
That was really funny, too.
Yep, I'm making sure, because I need mine for...
Yeah, just make sure it's on silent.
No, it's on silent, so that's going to be funny.
If it rings, you answer that phone on the air. That's the rule.
That's going to suck.
Y'all just want to hear the Ginger Dragon go off again.
I mean, that's funny. But,
Kind of, yes.
But I just was warning you, really.
And really hopes that it happens.
Only a little.
All right.
So, Tale of Three Wolves.
Yes, let's get to getting. Danny, what do we got?
All right, we'll just start from the very beginning. We have, in a small town in a rural area, rumors of a cult are going on. People claiming the bodies of teens that appeared to have been brutally beaten or tortured, and they're all victims of this cult. Is there actual cult? Is there a reason why the cult's there? What are they doing? Are they responsible for the dead teens? And if so, why? And why should the pack be looking into it?
Well, let's do this in alphabetical order.
Sure.
So
C. J. C. Grant. C. Porter.
no, they can't see me. There's no cameras here. I just want to see if you knew your alphabet, Danny.
CJ's first. Let's just no. You know what? No. Nope. I'm not even doing it that way. Yeah. Well, Grant, you go first.
All right.
The answer's no.
So the first thing I'm going to really look at, as Porter knows, I'm really, really particular about some of the background details. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start breaking out that town into like who's in control of the town, what's going on in the town, what other elements that may be at play. For something like that, it's pretty obvious I can either go with like a Pentex derivative cult or some other type of worm influence group, or what, because, originally I'm a vampire storyteller. What I would like to do with that is I would like to tie it into some random leech somewhere doing something crazy. So maybe he's, created the cult, or she, to be, to obfuscate the fact that a vampire is in the area and is active, as well as to, maintain its own supply of food, for that matter.
All right, CJ, what you got?
Okay. I will say my original idea for this one was going through it with inspiration from the Kinfolk episode, actually. What if it's a cult that's been slowly, over the generations of lost kinfolk who are using like teachings and information that has been passed down to them, have formed this little cult in this little rural area, and every time a kid's coming about of age in the cult, maybe they're putting them through a rite to see if they ascend, where in reality they're unknowingly seeing if they can force a first change. And the victims are the people who obviously did not. That could lead to some, random first changers running around causing some issues that I'd imagine a pack anywhere nearby would definitely want to take a look into.
Now, before Porter gives his idea, I want to interject off CJ's, and I think his story seed there, his little embellishment on it, would really tie in well to like a Skinwalker type story, where maybe one of these lost kinfolk, comes about some information that realize that they can become a Skinwalker and they can actually start being real antagonists against the pack at hand.
I'm into that. I'm going to try to look. There's some similarities here, right, with where a guy takes us potentially. So I'm going to try to steer a different direction. I would make this perhaps a religious cult, something Bane-driven, maybe inspired by like Midnight Mass.
Oh,
where some darker force has worked its way into the more evangelical members of this little town. And what you're seeing as cultist murders are just them purging the heathens.
It's a fantastic show.
It is a good show.
And yeah, I see it that way.
It's got boats in it. Episodes and a script.
Boats and hoes.
Yeah, and Matthew Saracen from Friday Night Lights, which is a show that has a lot to do with Texas, and CJ's from Texas. So
look at that tie-in.
Fucking, it's all related. Confirmed CJ on Midnight Mass Season 2.
Yeah, because, and thanks for ruining that spoiler there, CJ. Yeah, this one's from CJ. This was...
I actually didn't know that until like 20 minutes ago.
Which why I wanted him to go last, but you're like, yeah, you CJ, you go. I'm like, shit.
Well, oops.
I mean, that's such an open-ended story seed.
Which is
honest. I mean, you could really take that one.
But it's exactly why we're doing this. We the open-end ones are the best for discussion.
Right, because sometimes we'll get submissions that they just give us the entire story. Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck do you want me to do? You just did it for me.
Yep. It's like, great, we just said your story on air. I mean, you're welcome for sharing it, but it's not what we asked for.
Tracking, I'm going to go out of my way to see if I can't tie each one of these story seeds into the Midnight Circus. Just, because Tom's not here, and I want him to be here in spirit.
The Midnight Circus?
We can have, well, actually we can't. I was going to say we could have like Danny hum Dave Matthews while we're talking, but we'll get copyright.
I think you're allowed up to 14 seconds.
I'm not going to fact check that. The best part about that...
Danny doesn't know anything about the Midnight Circus, does he?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I think the best part about, like, not the circus, the Dave Matthews, is that when Tom hears this, he's going to be like, what is it with Dave Matthews?
Yeah.
Like, I have linked him with Dave Matthews irreparably, and I don't think he's heard a single Dave Matthews song his entire life.
Tom, I think he only knows the one.
I don't think he knows the one.
Pretty sure he does.
I'm not even sure which one frankly, I don't even know which one we're talking.
Yeah.
I just know that I have forever tied him with Dave Matthews and Hacky Sack, and I don't think he's partaken in either one.
No, Tom used to be a hacky sacker.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
A skateboarder and hacky sacker.
That tracks.
I want to say he's even tried it at the same time.
I'd like to see him fall trying. Tom. Okay.
Love you, Tom.
Oh, it's my Dave Matthews impression.
All right, so I guess before we go on to the next one, do you guys want to kind of maybe rebuttal or discuss off of each other's, or?
I see what Danny's doing here.
So, I do like the religious aspect of it. From what Porter was talking about, using a religious cult to kind of, go down that route can be really good. I think it's also a dangerous way of going about it because the first thing people think of, where I'm from, rural areas, is the Bible Belt, and putting those two things together, it could be cause potential conflicts because you never know. People can get real upset about certain things, so you have to definitely make sure you know your table, and then if you're going to build something around religion, make sure that it's not like going along lines of something crazy, so people don't get all take it to heart or take offense to it. Or if that's your goal, just to fuck with people.
Yeah, just double down.
Just double down.
I mean, you can always subvert expectations like that. They could be going to this area. Here it's super religious. Think it's a Bible Belt, and nope, it's a worm cult.
But see, that's why I was leaning toward the religion, right? So it's her, just general church folk, if you will. Because, I think the obvious thing is you go with the worm cult, right? Mm-hmm. Be it, a group of Fomori or something that, a crazy Fomori family who's doing it, or a loose gore hound or, right?
Sure. It's the easy and almost expected.
Well, just some general old fashioned humans are shitty is kind of where I'm leaning. Instead of making it like the evil thing, just humans suck.
Yeah, and it could just be a cult. Like, doesn't even have to be wormish involved. Like, it could be a Heaven's Gate style cult. That's plenty of people just doing crazy shit for religious reasons.
That's true. And I mean, then you get to the area, right? Is it like a cult leader, a Manson, a Jonestown scenario kind of thing? Or again, is it just things got out of hand? I
want to use Mother Teresa as the cult leader.
Did you say Mother Teresa?
I did.
Okay.
As the inspiration, obviously you can't use the real Mother Teresa.
You can do whatever you want.
She was in America.
I think that would probably be more shocking if it was Mother Teresa. Turns out she's an umpire. Play ball, guys.
Wow.
She didn't really die. She was just embraced.
That's right.
Oh.
I mean, technically, it's still dead. She's still a corpse.
Yeah.
Same thing. Actually, you know what it makes me think of? Like, as we're talking about this, I'm thinking of The Mist. The Stephen King, the Frank Darabont and Thomas Jane and all that. Where was it Marcia Gay Harden? That was the religious, and she kind of turned the people in the grocery store into like her followers because God made the mist to punish everyone or whatever.
Okay, I mean, it's been so long since that fucking movie.
But an example like that, or even fucking since we're talking about it, it doesn't start that way, right? Let's really play with some shit, and we go back to the Satanic Panic, right? That maybe these victims all played Black Dog games, right?
Oh,
yeah, you could definitely go on that angle.
Exactly, and they were satanic and had to be purged and saved or whatever, or because of this coincidence, right? Or maybe not, because Black Dog Games, so maybe that's the fucking why they got murdered up. But that leads into the religious craze.
Maybe they were playing the Lepics in the Lycanthrope Black Dog game.
Could be. Lepics, by the way, on sale in the Storytellers Vault, written by Mr. C. Grant Rose. You're welcome.
have a embed inside of an embed inside of an embed. Have a real Inception type game going on.
We'll get crazy meta with this, man. Don't mess with me.
Oh, the Lepics. Where'd that come from, I wonder?
I'll fucking write in B. Grant Tulip, the creator of Lepics, who is fucking had Bane ink infested into the actual print version of the book that makes people want to fuck like rabbits. However, the Bane also gives them a special level of AIDS, which melts their insides.
That's some crazy meta in you.
Is it in you?
I kind of want to play the game now. I'm not going to lie.
Now that you've got a self-insert. Lepics insert. See what I did there?
Yeah,
I have a character inside of a character inside of a character.
Gross. All right, we'll go on to the next one.
No, that was fun. But yeah, okay.
This one is from Barks the Litany. Teenagers at the local high school have been meddling. They're goths and alt kids, and they're attracted to the Wicca and the occult. Also obsessed with vampires and such, thanks to all the media.
Their hula hoops and their rock music and their clove cigarettes, I get it.
However, they have ended up summoning something bad and very, very real, but all by accident. They have entered an agreement that's hard to escape. Porter, hit that one first.
Okay. I wouldn't make a meal out of that. I could make that like a nice maybe two-parter.
Okay.
I wouldn't, like I said, because this is the thing, you get the kids, right?
Sure.
And then this angle is, kids experiment and messing around with shit, fine. I feel like, and I do not know, but this is maybe better suited to like a mage kind of thing. Like, I mean, there's other shit out there that I don't know a whole lot about, so oops. But so like I'm kind of limited in what I know here. But I could see maybe inviting themselves into Bane possession. And I think the I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Maybe get a good psychomancy. You know, Scrag's a dime a dozen, fine. But, you know, or maybe something... Okay, nope, changed my mind.
Oh.
They're fucking around, right? You know, at the local magic shop or whatever.
Sure.
You know, they found their little altar or their crystal ball or whatever fucking knick-knack bullshit they're going to use to help summon the greater spirits. Except what they didn't fucking know is there was an actual ancient bane sealed inside. So them fucking around, they find out it possesses one of them, right? Who, again, like now awakened, and again, something that they had to seal. So not just a couple quick Monster of the Week thing, you know, who maybe starts opening other kids, right? Maybe there's this little group to further bane possession. Again, using psychomancies, or maybe even a few scrags for like pets and shit.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I could see maybe that. And then, you know, like, I don't know who this bane is, but it's something that thrives on spreading that corruption. And so maybe it is riding along in secret for a while, infiltrating the school itself.
So it went from
just this little group. Right.
Okay.
And now sort of, and when we go back to a cult, sort of, and I'm using quotes here, culting up the students, you know, oh, suddenly the football team has all been possessed by fucking Ularaths or something.
Damn.
You know, and so now you've got a group that goes, well, we're going to have to either find a way to undo this, which we know there kind of isn't, or like...
Give in.
This is going to be in the paper tomorrow. Which version of the story do we need this to be? That's my thought.
All right. Grant, you hit that one next.
So for that particular story seed, you know, there's a lot of potential for crossovers. Anytime you have something where you have an agreement where they're trapped into some type of binding agreement, it's just ripe for a crossover. From mage to changeling to vampire, any of those all have potential to, those supernatural creatures can enter into some type of agreement with mortals or like through blood bond or whatever, and create a hell of a game that's going to have impact on the area at hand. So if these people are all, you know, entering into some type of blood bond with the local kindred population unknowingly through whatever pact that they have, say some of those people happen to be the family or the kinfolk of some of the Guru Pack members, then you have that right there. Like, why is all of a sudden cousin Jojo, you know, going to the woods every Friday to get his, you know, weekly, you know, dose of blood? Same thing with changeling and mage. Like changelings, they used to do all these things where they have pacts with mortals that they would give them something in return for something. You know, maybe it's impacting things. And you have a cairn in the area, excuse me. And so possibly the local mages are trying to drain the cairn for their own purposes, or the changelings are trying to take it over for theirs. You can do almost anything. And to kind of really tie back into Midnight Circus, just because I said I'm going to, you can have the Midnight Circus be one of the ones that actually instigated this pact. Maybe they've went through the town recently and they've, you know, started pulling people off to help. To help.
I was gonna say, what you doing?
To help populate the circus and keep it running. So, and what's really interesting in that, there's a particular trait in the Midnight Circus where certain guru that get trapped in the circus are trapped in Hisbo form. So that's always cool.
That is kind of cool.
Okay.
That was quiet enough. That totally didn't There's no way. There's no way that blurred him out.
I didn't blurt him out. No. That I'm not worried about. It was funny.
Okay, my bad.
No, it was the being trapped in Hispo. That would be fucking cool.
No, that's cool. Yeah, just making sure. Like, no. I know for a fact that didn't drown him out.
It didn't drown him out.
I was super quiet about it.
It was kind of jarring at first. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I look up and I see your hand covering your mouth. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
I didn't want to interrupt him.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
No, I like the idea. I like that. Again, being trapped in Hispo, I think that's a fucking cool thing right there. Yeah, and you keep tying it back to a circus. This is weird, but I get it.
No, I'm into it. It's like that Sifl and I, where they did the Battle of the Bands. They were judging, and Sifl was like, I'm going to give everyone a 10, so 10.
So because Danny obviously is not tracking what Midnight Circus is, there was a book from like 2nd or 3rd edition that was a World of Darkness book that was based on this particular group. And it's ripe for crossover because it has a little bit of everybody in it. And Tom mentioned it to me once, and I'm like, yeah, it's a great book. And
I was kind of picking that up, yeah. I was starting to pick it up and realizing what was going on.
They bonded over cotton candy.
And balloon animals.
Were they the bond that holds the cotton candy together?
No, I think that's rubber cement. Don't eat cotton candy, folks.
Oh, God.
CJ, what you got?
So I was thinking of taking this just a slightly different way of, like, you have this group of the alt kids, the goths, the outcasts of the school who are, doing all these whatever Wiccan magical ceremonies, whatnot. They've got their altar, and suddenly this stuff is working, even though it shouldn't. But so, the pack's coming into town one day, and everything's just fucking opposite day. The kids that should be getting beat up and shoved in the lockers by the jocks are ganging up on the football team and stuff like that. And it's more of, but nobody outright is Bane possessed. Nobody's showing much Bane possession. And now they got to figure out, like, what is doing this? What is allowing this stuff to happen? And my thought is somebody in the town, whether knowingly or unknowingly, who maybe runs that magic shop, much like your idea of, like, whatever they're using is holding, like, some Bane inside. What if they're little, it's a bunch of, like, Bane fetish style things that actually allow you to do some form of magic. But now, where are they getting it all? Where's all this shit coming from? And that's the PAC's now big question. Not necessarily worrying about, like, the kids who might have accidentally summoned something, more of, how are these kids even able to summon a thing? What is allowing them to do it? And having to track down these artifacts that are all over the place. Because, once one kid figures out, hey, you do this, and suddenly you become super popular, they're not gonna not brag and tell everybody else about it. And that's just gonna burn through a school and get... And what happens when the adults find out about it? And what happens when one of them is just a little tempted to try it out? What kind of chaos might whatever they want end up causing, even if they don't realize it?
That makes all the sense in the world, especially knowing what high school is like.
I mean, I like that. I don't like, I could see taking, there's a chronicle on that.
Oh, by far an entire chronicle.
Like I'm looking at, and it's not, anything inspired, various episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is inspired, like Todd versus the Book of Evil. I believe that's what it was called. Todd and the Book of Evil. It's been a while. There's been various other shows, I think of even an episode of Justice League. I think it was kid stuff where Morgan Le Fay, so like where Mordred had everyone turn into kids, but then also turned like Central Park into medieval times, essentially.
Awesome.
So like there's precedent for it, and you could take that kind of riff and bring it into the larger piece. I think you marry these three together and find something in between. You could run something really, really fucking great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could have a straight Ash and Evil Dead scenario if somebody buys like a joke Necronomicon that actually ends up working.
Ooh. That's some scary shit.
Best thing is there's all kinds of those types of grimoires already in existence in the World of Darkness. You just have to look them up and use them.
Right. And then maybe someone at the carnival, like stole it and pawned it at the local place, like for some meth or something. And then you can't go to Carney's and not meth. You have to have both of. Just look at Dante, right?
Why else?
Carney's and meth go together like peanut butter and jelly.
That's true. Well, that's science.
I was going to say, or Dante and the mullet.
Peanut butter Peanut butter and ladies.
Peanut butter and meth, man. Wait, what?
What? All right.
Moving on to the
Not
next
sponsored.
This was a good one. I like the ideas, and then the fact that you can marry all three of them together was awesome. Good job. Okay, next one is from our buddy Operator. Local lupus kinfolk, maybe even a cub, or cubs, have been getting tranked and tagged, and it's drawing a lot of unwanted attention into the bond. What does the pack find when they investigate?
Did you add that last part? You really didn't, yeah.
He's got it in here, but I don't want to give, because again, it's
Oh, it's one of those where...
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I like his idea, but I'll say it after the three of you. How about that?
Yeah.
That works.
It's only one more line.
It's fine.
But, yeah. It's one of the ones where, again, you don't want to give too much of the story away. We just want the seeds.
No, I know. I'm running... Shut up so I can think.
I was going to say, how about CJ goes first on this one?
It's CJ's turn to go first.
Yes, it is. One of my first thoughts with this is, like, the idea of it being a sort of, how do I phrase this? Like, the idea that this is a misunderstanding between seps, between Karens or whatnot. Like, they don't know each other exist for whatever reason. And so you have this sept of glasswalkers who are, looking to protect the local lupus and the local wolf populations. They find some lupus kinfolk. And they're now like, yeah, no, we need to keep track of these people. And unknowingly, they end up tagging some of this other sep's kinfolk who are now having to investigate where are these tags coming from, ultimately leading to a clash between those seps or just a really awkward meeting where you gotta start explaining, like, hey, buddy, I need you to stop tranking my cousins and tagging them. They're my cousins, not yours.
I love that.
Yeah,
Instant
that
rivalry.
Yeah.
Say again, Grant?
Yeah, sorry, Grant.
No, I was saying that's really good for instant conflict between two packs, especially if you're if you're beginning storyteller, and you're only running like one game. That's one that you can do pretty well and have an NPC pack and then your player pack. For a more advanced storyteller, you can actually be playing two different games with two different tables and have one table play the one pack and the other table play the other pack. And you can really get into a lot of crossover and have one unified universe there and kind of just go crazy with it.
I mean, I could see the trouble in that insofar as taking action on behalf of one, because you can't do them both at the same time.
Right.
Right.
You'd have to have blue booking and you'd have to do different paths. So like beforehand.
Yeah, I was like, it's like a much bigger deal, but that's cool.
Well, I was to say it's an advanced storytelling thing because you
sure.
definitely have to take and plan it out into advance and like have present to the one table, be like, hey, this is all the possibilities that may or may not happen over this next session. What would you all do in these situations? And then you just could do that back and forth, and then just watch it grow from there.
Yeah, really. But I love CJ's idea. I know, Grant, you took it to pack level. I'd go back to full sept level. I like the idea of merging, having two separate groups, but one in each member of a different sept. Mm-hmm. Like I'd bring it back to a sept level because you can, at that point, you can do a full on fucking territory war, have it blow up to that extent, and that's fucking rad. But for the show, I don't want to just go CJ's right. Let's move on.
No, I have other ideas that I think would be just as cool.
I mean, I'm not the storyteller here, but like I even think about going even as high up as tribal. Like,
oh yeah, for tribal cairns, that can escalate.
Yeah, and
that's fucking cool.
But they're not. But they're only kinfolk. They're not actual part of the tribe. So, or they're not. You know what I'm saying? I hope.
I know what you're saying, but that doesn't matter.
True.
Yeah,
turns out,
the detail, it's a Red Talon and Glasswalker clash.
Yeah, you will take issue if I put a fucking tracker
yes
in your wife's neck.
Yes, I would have.
She's only your wife. You're not blood related. So it shouldn't matter, right? No, you see how? You see?
Yes, that's why I'm laughing. Fuck.
Sorry about that, by the way.
I'm just thinking if there's a place that we can like buy these trackers.
You shut your mouth.
I think any like pet store, right? Because they put them in dogs, right? So you can just fucking same thing. It's not like they're powered by milkbone in the bloodstream. And if they are, just fucking start cooking dinner for a few weeks.
Not going to touch that one.
All right. So
Anyway.
for the show, how about another idea?
All right, I'll go next. That way I can steal Porter's thunder because he always goes straight with the werewolf stuff. So the first thing is
welcome to the show.
I was going to say, yeah.
Thank you. I know. I'll
This
go
is
straight
Rage Across the
crossover
Internet.
vampire
We are
stuff.
a Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast.
Now I'm just going to talk about spooky ghosts for the rest of this.
Let's do it.
No, I
Don't
am.
threaten me
You're
with a good time.
fucking. You have to deal with my understanding of them. You're screwed, sir. Sorry.
Probably.
Go ahead.
So first things first. Just from that story seed, you have some basic possibilities. Like wolves get tranked and tagged all the time. It could be something extremely benign, just normal, fish and wildlife companies doing that, which is it can throw a little bit of conflict into like your packs going against just the local civilian infrastructure. But I would actually take it a step forward, and even if that was them, I would say that they're doing that for under the auspices of like DNA from Pentex, where they're trying to get these DNA samples of all of these wolves in the area so that they can start, manipulating and things like that. So I would really lean into that in this type of environment.
Yeah, you could really start getting into some interesting moments of when it stops being just tranking and more like, hey, this wolf is just going to go disappearing for a week and come back a bunch of bald spots and probably pumped full of whatever chemicals DNA is putting in them.
Well, we talking Pentex, we talking DNA, because those are two different things. And actually, for confusion, for those who may not be aware, not DNA, the fucking building block of life, the organization, Developmental Neogenetics Amalgamated. It's important because those are two different things.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that, that would be a very confusing sentence. Not DNA, but DNA.
Yep.
You fucking
DNA.
DNA?
DNA.
Is it in you?
Absolutely. Yes, DNA is in me.
Whose?
Oh, God damn it. Walked right into that. Mine.
I mean, yeah, you can imagine one of the wolves goes, gets tranked and tagged and experimented on for a week, but comes back with no visible impact, and he just has a weird story, a crazy story. He's like, "Hey guys, I've been gone for a week. I don't know what happened. Some guys just picked me up and they did whatever to me. Now I'm back. I promise you, it's happening. It's happening all the time."
Well, it's the thing, like, if it's a wolf kinfolk, then they don't fucking know. And if we go with DNA, the company, like, they could definitely be looking to find a cure for GLS, because there's the GLS2 variant, as they know it. We know it as just Lupus Garu.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that, certainly. Maybe it is a fish and wildlife thing. Maybe it's a hippie conservationalist group who are no, this is going to be dumb, but who are tagging the wolves in order to track poachers.
Oh, see, I like that.
And like, this could lead to some unfortunate hijinks when they start stumbling close to the Bawn.
Right, and that's kind of the whole basis of this one was it's drawing too much attention to the Bawn.
Right. And yeah, because now this is one of these, vegan PETA dance around the fire and have a feeling stick conservationalist groups, right? You can't just get rid of them. Like Moonbeam's fucking dad is the mayor or something, So maybe when she gets fucked off because she got too close, right? Well, now the mayor's looking into it. The cops are looking into it. Like, it just escalates to that.
Yep.
Maybe there works. I mean, there's a lot. It's all around the same line. This isn't a thing. This isn't one we could marry together.
No.
But, like, I think any one of those is fair game.
God, that gleam in your eye right now.
No, it's too dumb.
Okay.
It's too dumb.
All right, fair.
It's gonna.
Is that an off-the-air one?
No, fuck it. Maybe. You're going to be editing.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I remember a couple of those, those like urban legends, those stories. Like you hear, like, I think some of them, some of them are true, the crazy, like where like the dwarf gets in a dog costume and just like pretends. So like 3 or 4 of them go missing, and then like one comes back and he's like a little bigger, and he's like he's walking around weird, and you swear you heard a cell phone go off in his stomach.
Or what if he's trying to blend in with the local wolf population to observe them closer?
Right?
And you have the Garu and Lupus running the bond. Like, what are you doing?
Right? It's just Peter Dinklage in a fucking suit.
I just thought of...
Oh, that's so stupid. I love it.
Was it Ace Ventura when he's in the rhino?
Yes.
It's kind of hot in these rhinos.
Or the It's Always Sunny.
Rhinos giving birth.
Yeah, or the It's Always Sunny where Frank jumps out of the couch naked. See, there it is. There's a solution. It's been nothing the whole time. It was just some weirdo who had a thing for wolves.
Perfect. Oh, done.
Danny DeVito and Peter Dinklage teaming up to wander the bond in fucking wolf costumes.
Oh. Now, we're going to thank Op for this one. Operator, good job. It's a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. Thanks, man.
But his, again, trying not to give too much of him away.
Yeah.
Again, the steed. But that was his idea. It's
Peter Dinklage and Danny DeVito in costume?
No, investigating just reveals it's a wolf conservation group.
Hoof prints, zebras sometimes.
No, I mean, it was a good idea. And then you guys all had kind of around the same idea. So, no, I like it. It's good.
And then my ultimate idea.
Actually, the idea
And then Danny DeVito and Peter Dinklage.
You know?
Maybe as twins.
The night is your night, bro.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you start talking about, tagging and tranking wolves, the immediate thing is going to be conservation.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Especially
but,
if it's like set in the U.S. So,
no, again, obviously. But again,
that's pretty much the only time it really happens over here.
Actually, going back to DNA real quick before we move on to the real one.
Sure.
I know how do you top Danny DeVito and Peter Dinklage. But
with oil.
Good night, everybody.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Daniel Tyson. Send complaints to 123 Help Street.
Baby oil. Sorry. Made that clear.
Alan, I do know for sure nobody wants to check that search history for Danny there. They might be terrified and scarred for life at this point.
Right? I have just a gift for this, though.
That's why he's on a list.
Maybe 2 at this point.
That's why it's called Danny's List is the problem. No, but you back to the DNA company.
How do you top it?
No, we're not. We talk about experiments, but here's the other thing, right? Again, talking GLS2, maybe they have put an additive into the bloodstream of the wolves.
Okay.
A GLS vaccine.
Oh.
That would propagate on them mating.
Oh. See, at first I thought you were going to go with, like, they're having a hard time shifting.
No, because these are kinfolk. These are wolf kinfolk at this point.
Oh, yeah, even better. Yeah. Okay.
So they're injecting, they're testing this vaccine in the population to eliminate GLS2.
Huh. So, yeah. Okay.
Sorry, it was 11th hour. I'm like, but I think that bears mentioning.
No, that's good. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the problem with a story like that is you're gonna have to, someone's gonna have to fuck up. Like the crux of that story, they're the tagging, okay, what's going on, and then like 2 or 3 chapters in, you're gonna have to have one of the DNA technicians, one of the people, fuck up and end up dead or something in the bond, so that your players in the sept can get hip, to the battle plan a little bit, because otherwise, how the fuck that's like the silent killer, right? It's like a carbon monoxide leak. You're not gonna know until you're fucking gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
I get it.
if you wanted to, for a slightly different, more pentexy version of it versus just straight DNA, what if they are being tagged and tracked for the purposes of potentially making werewolves?
Also could be. And at that point, it's like maybe they're doing it to help try to find the fucking cairn.
Yeah.
Maybe they've been doing this to wolf populations all over, and they're waiting for when there's pushback because now they know there's a cairn nearby.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I mean, if you want to know if there are crypts nearby, you walk around with the sign that says Blood's Rule. If you get shot, guess what?
God.
You also might get attacked by vampires that way because they might think you're giving out samples. But then you just throw a box of toothpicks on the ground. You go, quick, how many? And they'll be there all day counting. Plus, they might prick themselves with it and be paralyzed because, wood takes them out. Man, I'm picking fights, huh?
This was a good little prompt that you could run any fucking length of story with these, really, from, simple little chronicle or a short story to like a full-blown, like, this is your multi-chronicle game now dealing with these two steps.
It's not his fault he didn't get to play the cool game. He had to play with the second best game in the World of Darkness.
All right, and we're going to go on to the next one before that goes any farther. All right, this was from our good buddy Drake.
Who?
Drake.
Never heard of him.
Oh.
I had to humble him up from the last time he got brought up.
Oh, ha ha.
He became the representative of everyone we liked in the Discord because I didn't want to go down all the list. It's like, who?
Yeah. The pack returns from a mission to find everyone in the cairn asleep. Everyone is alive and breathing, but cannot be woken up. Even the spirits are asleep.
Ooh, I got it.
There is no trace of worm taint and no obvious signs of infiltration. Everyone's asleep in random places as if they just couldn't manage to stay awake another moment and all laid down just where they stood.
Did I not say, ooh, I got it?
Yes, I had to finish.
You didn't. It was the warder's birthday. They're all hungover.
Last time he did something similar, you said it was a surprise party.
I don't remember that at all, so I guess surprise for
because
me.
Because no one was, everyone was missing from the bond as soon as the pack came back or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. And that was your answer, was like, well, it's just a surprise party.
There you go. That's the aftermath of the party. It was a different pack that showed up first. It was a surprise, and then they had the party. Fucking duh, cut print. Go ahead, Grant. Follow that.
So I would actually take it a step further, and I would have them. I would have them start looking around the local town and see that everyone is asleep, alive but asleep. And through some more digging and things like that, maybe they have one of their pack decides to drink the local water, and they also go to sleep, so that they can start throwing breadcrumbs into something's being manipulated, such as the local water supply or food or something by some nefarious group,
Roofies.
Or even just some group that's experimenting and just happens to create whatever, and then go from there.
Roofies. All right, CJ, top it.
I mean, like, first thing that comes to mind that would be very easy, but I don't know enough about the actual system itself to make it work. But I could totally imagine this is some like changeling doing weird bullshit, because stuff like this happens in like fairy tales all the time, where the people are just inextricably put to sleep, and I could totally imagine a changeling doing it. But once again, don't know enough about it. But if sort of to go off of Grant's a little bit, instead of it just being they found them all asleep and have to figure out what's doing it, what if they find a group that is awake? The entire step's asleep, the entire nearby town's asleep, but then they find a group of people who are actually awake. Why are they there? One part of me thinks if this is like they're putting something in the water. What if it's a first team that's been sent to deal with the now easy pickings cairn? Or, now the pack has to defend this place all on their own for a while until they figure out what's going on or how to wake people up. Well, whatever is coming to start taking over, be it first team, be it maybe a bane of some kind or some weird wild spirit, or maybe it's a plague of like the waking sleepwalkers from the Wild West or something.
All right. Now I'm going to go back because while
it was funny,
the warder's birthday was
You got a serious one?
A perfectly acceptable explanation. It's not a story by itself at that point, but it's like a fun 10-minute, quick freak them out when the story begins, and then, oh, here's the real story. But, we did something similar during the hard and the easy.
Ah.
And, I won't get into that because, that's in our postmortems, which they are for sale on our Ko-Fi, the collected bundles of the first 3 Chronicles. So there's that for you guys. There's another shameless plug. But also, something similar was also done in the novel Breathe Deeply. And that's where I kind of want to lean right now.
Okay. I was wondering which direction you're going to go with it.
I'll tell you if you...
If I just shut up, got it.
If lean toward the novel Breathe Deeply, where a sept was put to sleep in order to avoid a sickness. To slow the effects of a sickness, rather. And you could easily do something similar. And like what that sickness is in the root of the cure, that can be yours to play with. But the idea that they were, while this pack was away, something happened. And maybe the Master of the Rite intentionally put everyone to sleep so as to not cause further damage or spread the thing or, slow the progress of the disease within the Guard of the Sept. Meanwhile, maybe someone who was on hand, that wasn't sick yet, was sent to try to get to the bottom of it. And now it is the job of your player characters who has just come home to track that guy or that pack down and assist with the mission, perhaps a mission they've already failed.
Oh.
You send the Lost in the Woods pack to go take care of a thing. Well, the Lost in the Woods pack are incompetent. So, but they were all that was left, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, well, who's missing? Well, we're going to track these guys down to find out what the fuck happened. You find them, and, they're all dead. Yep. One's bleeding out because he kind of, survived a little longer or ran away and hid or whatever, which can lead you down that rabbit hole of trying to find said cure to restore your sept.
I like that. Yeah, and... they were the ones left. They were the ones sent to try and fix it, and they failed.
Yep, they fucked up because they're fuck-ups.
Well done on that one.
Thank you.
Lost in the Woods pack.
Yeah, originally they were called the Lost in the Woods pack, as if dropping a preposition makes them mighty.
Callback after callback. Love it. All right.
A lot of that was just Breathe. I know. There was a lot of Breathe Deeply.
I know.
It's a good book, and go read it, everybody.
All right, so before we get too far into that, we can go on to the next one. Make it too bad. And again, thanks, Drake, for that one. That was awesome. This one is from Aegisandro.
Hey, Aegis.
In an expedition far from the Sept, the pack find a highly wounded Octane. Tattoos in her body reek of worm, and she can barely mutter the phrase, "It cannot be free." The air becomes heavy, and the forest, caves, and alley or city, depending on, all become strangely silent as if something just approached. Who's first for this one?
Well, I was first and last time with my badass birthday party scenario.
I will go.
All right, Grant had it. Go ahead, because you called it.
I'll go first for 2 reasons. One, give me time to think about this. And then number 2, because I forgot to mention when it comes to the Midnight Circus for the last 2. So,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I had to come back around. So for the trank and tagging, I can see it being the Gru that are trapped in the Midnight Circus. They're doing it to see if there's a way that they can circumvent the curse to escape from the Midnight Circus. And then for the other one, for Everyone's Asleep story seed, it can be that the local changeling of the Midnight Circus is making everybody asleep so that the circus can move in undetected.
But we're off of those story seeds, and we need the one we just gave.
Now the newest one.
Guys, listen.
Look.
It's important. Look, listen, Danny.
Look.
Look, listen.
Listen.
Listen, look.
Look.
Look, listen.
Listen.
Is it in you?
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Grant.
Yes, it is. Hey, Grant, please start over.
So this one, obviously it's begging to be looked at as, the Octane is a Bane tender. It's been keeping a very powerful Bane trapped. And obviously now that she's dying, the Bane's going to come out, right? And so you have like all of the Umbra can be like crazy and all that because this Bane has finally escaped its what's imprisonment? Couldn't find the word for a second. It finally escaped its imprisonment, and now it's just wreaking havoc in the Umbra and the local population. Say it's some ancient, people are mad at the white man spirit. You can go in that direction, because you have all these Banes that were trapped during the westward expansion of America. So the European anger at the era and the culture would be easily facilitated to make those Banes stronger. And then you could just have, that type of Bane be the antagonist that has escaped. And it's just creating this just general discontent and civil unrest amongst all the populace in the area.
That's pretty good.
But he's right. It's absolutely begging to be especially since he threw in there the Octane. It's begging to be a Bane tender.
Well, no, it's very obviously supposed to be a Bane tender.
Yeah.
So in my scenario, it's not.
Good. Okay. Throw it off. I like it.
The it must not get free is their lyrics.
Okay.
But like it's an encoded message. It's kind of like a Rosebud type. I mean, Rosebud wasn't an encoded message, but you kind of give that kind of mystery vibe behind it. And what it is, I mean, it's Bane. At this point, it is related, right? Okay, because it's so clearly set up this way, But it's an encoded message. It has to be either brought to perhaps a target, like the recipient was a member of the player's sept or local sept if they're with the idea of being passed along a chain perhaps, but it has to do with keeping a Bane sealed. And this particular Octane was being hunted, let's run it further, by a former Bane tender who had gone to the worm, who was trying to stop this chain from being preserved. The silence, everything going quiet, maybe is a result of the totem of said Black Spiral pack, which is sort of a precursor to them arriving. Not that the players would know it right away, but you can continue on with that and do, first of all, they got to figure out what exactly this means. Not what it's going to do, not what the lyrics are going to do, but what does this message fucking mean? Because obviously, it's because we can't let the Bane free. That's not, well, sure, but that's not what this is about. It's about getting that phrase to the guy who can crack that code and pass what it means to the people who can make sure the thing doesn't go free. While you're contending with this pack, the silence, if you will, if they're called that.
Sure.
Who are tracking down the pack and trying to get trying to stop the message.
That's a cool idea, and that kind of gave me an idea.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
We could, Grant.
That sounds great.
What if you even threw like...
Before I forget, you could also have, when it's the... Go ahead.
Go ahead, you're the storyteller.
Got you. So what you could also do when it comes to them finally deciphering the message, just have it be like the announcement and the bill of programs for the Midnight Circus when it's coming in next week.
Of course. You knew that's what he was going to do, right? He told us in the beginning that this was going to happen the whole time.
I should have saw it coming.
It's weird you didn't pay attention.
I give legitimate stuff, and then I'm just going to tie it into. So,
right?
Just saying.
For every birthday party, there has to be a secret evil plan.
Fine.
And a clown.
I'm just thinking, what if it must be free was really not the message?
Go ahead, CJ.
Fuck you.
Wow, Grant.
Oh. Okay.
He's going to cry.
Too late. It's too late. It's fine.
I had a thought. I was going to make a comment about that, about the whole crying thing, but everything that came to my mind wasn't something that you can put on air. So I'm just going to be quiet.
It's probably the best. Go ahead, CJ. Say mine last, I guess. Since I got one.
Well, the first idea that I've got with this is, whether or not it is a Bane Tender, it is not. Maybe it's a Bane Tender in training. I was going to focus more on the tattoos and the Bane itself, of it being a creature that is unable to manifest on its own. It has to possess somebody. And those tattoos are a sign of, it's in the process of possessing her. And what if this Bane Tender is incredibly wounded? Because they know once the process starts with this Bane, it cannot stop unless the host is dead. And so she's been trying to fight herself this entire time to, prevent this Bane from possessing her. She finds this pack, tries to give him this message. That's all she can get out. And that silence is the Bane moving from one person to another. And now they have to figure out a way to either seal this thing or get it off of them without requiring the death of one of their pack. And it's sort of like a virus that keeps hopping from host to host. It just cannot be allowed to manifest. It cannot be allowed to get into the physical world.
I like that.
That's a cool one.
Danny, did you have an idea?
I kind of got a little bit of an idea there.
Well,
and what if it's not about Bane tending it? Again, going away from the obvious answer, but it wasn't Bane tending. It was more of a kidnapping. And them trying to get away, it must not be free, is actually just code for the license plate.
I'm going to pogo off of that.
Okay.
Because you said kidnapping.
Sure.
And I know you were thinking about what you were doing last weekend in the new basement edition you put in, but...
Wow!
But I'm thinking, right...
See ya! I'm out!
Excuse me, I'm talking, sir.
Can't hear you with all that extra soundproofing he's got down there.
Oh!
Now I'm really gonna cry.
That was awesome. Okay, no.
I was going to say something like, that's why you're a player, not a storyteller. But that was just mean.
Fuck.
If it wasn't that funny, I think I would be crying right now. Jesus Christ.
We do love you, Danny.
I fucking hope so.
Wow.
You're great, Daddy.
It's good. It's good.
You're great, and it's great to have you here.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate it.
No, but going off, the inspired by the kidnapping thing. I couldn't not.
That was funny.
Don't get to change locks.
Again, it was funny. I'm giving it everybody.
No, going off the kidnapping thing, right? What if it was the Octane in the pack that kidnapped someone, right? And who they kidnapped was the son of a Pentec subsidiary, his president. The daughter of the head of Avalon Toys, for example.
Knowingly or unknowingly?
No, knowingly.
Oh, okay.
This was a fucking power play. Only what they didn't realize is that little Susie Avalonia, because that's clearly the name of the Avalon Toys, obviously.
Avalonia?
Yeah, little Susie Avalonia has been Bane possessed for the last decade. She's been 8 years old for 20 years.
Jesus, okay.
And
when they kidnapped her, they didn't realize.
They didn't realize that, and they absolutely bit off more than they can chew. Can't be free wasn't the Bane's gonna get away. Can't be free is in this bitch is in a fucking freezer vault in a warehouse, and don't let her out. Because
that's fucking good. That's good. Okay, I'm glad everyone.
Yeah, you
fun of
inspired
me.
that.
Yep,
And eventually you're going to have that pack find that freezer vault, and they're just going to hear this, 8-year-old little girl begging for help.
Right? And they're going to open the door, or they're going to start to, and then from the other side, little Susie just punches the fucking door open like the goddamn Hulk. Somebody takes 8 bashing.
And to bring it back full circle, we can have it.
No,
she can run away and join the circus.
No, god damn it!
The ringleader's daughter, and you hear the circus music playing when she punches through the wall.
God damn it!
And someone throws a pie in your face. because it's a clown.
10 lethal.
It's so
Badass pie.
Okay. Next.
humble pie.
Next. This is another one from Aegis. And again, thank you, Aegis. These are great. Thank you. Appreciate them.
We are definitely having fun.
Yes.
Danny, maybe not so much. We love him anyway, though.
That depends on what time it is. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Not after midnight. You get sleepy.
Yep. A cairn guarded by a sept highly recognized for being favored by Grandfather Thunder is suddenly under his wrath. Rain without pause, strong winds and lightning strikes threaten to actually destroy the cairn. Even in the Umbra, all the spirits are hostile towards the Garu, except for the Cliaths. So even in the Umbra...
Sounds like Grandmother Thunder is just fucking up. Not keeping it happy.
Did you say grandmother?
Yes, I did. Yep. So
I did.
it's threatening everything except for the Cliaths. Leave it at that.
You want to lead out, Danny, this time?
Nope. I'm not even
You
gonna
go first.
Nope, not even gonna bother. I'm gonna. How about CJ? You hit this one first.
Okay. One of my first thoughts with this was, well, let's subvert it just a little bit. You know, Grandfather Thunder is just going absolutely apeshit on the set, throwing everything he can at it, throwing all of this massive rain, storms, thunderbolts, everything. What if he's not actually pissed off at the sept, and this is his way of communicating, hey, you guys, there's a war party on its way now. Get your act together. And he actually still favors the sept, and this is just him helping. Because, you know, when all you've got's a hammer, or in this case, a massive storm, everything looks like a nail. And Grandfather Thunder strikes me as the kind of totem that when, like, yeah, he's going to not give you the answer right away, but he might help you out in a way that is probably fairly destructive, even if it's not intentionally so.
Okay.
Grant, you go next.
Okay.
Oh, I got you. So, to get the obligatory out of the way, we could have it that Grandfather Thunder is pissed off because the circus just came into town, and he didn't get a ticket. So,
That's his rational.
he's rightfully upset.
I'm just gonna mute
Right.
Grant the rest of this episode.
Something else that you can really take into a more serious direction. There has to be a legitimate reason if he's mad or if he's not mad. You could either take it where Grandfather Thunder is just attempting to communicate, or you can have that he's authentically pissed off. But what would he be pissed off about? Maybe there's a favorite pack of his that has been captured in the area and is being tortured, and he's trying to lash out against all the non-Cliaths because they haven't done anything. They know this pack is missing, but they haven't actually tried to find them or even notify the rest of the nation that this favored Shadow Lord pack has been captured by maybe the local Black Spiral Dancers or Pentex or whoever. It doesn't have to be a pack; it can be just one person. If Grandfather Thunder really likes one of them, that's a perfectly valid reason for him to be pissed off. Same thing with there's a favored fetish that he really has got a lot invested into. Maybe there's a lot of minor thunder jaglangs and things like that from his purview has been overly exploited and taken advantage of, and then put into fetishes against their will, or maybe a legendary fetish has been captured by the enemy and being used in a way that's going to piss him off. There's a reason why he's going to be mad at all of the non-Cliaths, but not the Cliaths, and I would really lean into that. Also, make sure you buy popcorn at the big circus too.
Sure.
Okay. The Cliaths weren't there. They were off in the rite of passage when this all went down. That's why they're exempt. What is this? I'll tell you. See, the thing is this cairn had recently adopted and it adopted a new totem. I mean, it's super fucking rare, but it can happen.
Okay.
And as we recall that the Shadow Lords have had a sort of a mission to atone for the Second War of Rage by bringing Bat back into the fold. And while we know that there was an aspect of Bat that has now been freed of the worm's corruption and has come back to Gaia, that doesn't mean that Bat wholesale has.
Okay.
So the totem of this cairn,
You're going.
this was a trick. They thought, hey, we're going to bring Bat in. We're going to let him take over as the totem of this cairn. It's going to piss off the original totem, but fucking we need to nurture Bat and make things right. This is a trick. In fact, this was a trick facilitated by a Shadow Lord Therish who was particularly close to all this and kind of was corrupted first. It becomes his idea, him and his pack per se. They talk the rest of the Sept into this. They make this change to, again, strengthen Bat and facilitate, and we're going to make things right. And we're going to piss off that other totem. But we'll send the Kalias on a mission to make things right with the totem that we're replacing. That's why they're not there. Maybe it was multiple packs of Kalias. It's a big job to make sure this totem isn't mad and wants revenge. But Grandfather Thunder's not fucking stupid. So he noticed and he's trying to smite those that have fucked this all up. And attempted to communicate with the others. But by virtue of this new corrupted totem, for the Sept, is keeping Grandfather Thunder quiet. It's like a fucking gag. He can't get this shit out. He's sending Stormcrows. Those Stormcrows are getting fucked off by agents of the worm. And so you have this pack that comes in, your players who come into this scene misunderstanding what's going on. But
when it's just Grandfather Thunder trying to give warning.
Right, trying to unfuck, what's been going on in the Sept, who have now been tricked into kind of maybe not completely falling to the worm, but close, due to the machinations of this totem and this pack that facilitated this, who are perhaps using the Bane tattoos to obfuscate their own worm taint.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
What's that?
Once again, you could really go all out and show the fury of Grandfather Thunder.
It's true.
That's not a direction I thought you were going to go with. That's good.
They can celebrate by going to the circus.
Everyone celebrates by going to the circus, apparently. Except Daniel Tyson.
We have fun and prizes.
I hate the circus.
Cotton candy, made with real rubber cement.
How do you hate the circus? What kind of animal hates?
I mean, I'm sure all animals hate the circus.
Elephants, probably.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, see, suck it.
Gotcha.
Do any of we want to go off of one another's?
So I could really lean into that one for sure when it comes to Grandfather Thunder being pissed off because they've switched it up and they went with a different totem. I mean that's just a story ripe for the exploitation of the pack, because it starts off with like good intentions, but you end up with shitty results on both ends. So like one, you may lose some of the Sept to actually falling because Bat's really not redeemed. At the same time, you may have Grandfather Thunder turn his back on the Sept overall because of it.
And then you look at for a second, you look at the further implications of that. Because if we're arguing that, there was still the part of Bat that was uncorrupted, just this wasn't it.
Just not this one.
Right. It also has, like I said, has further repercussions for the actual cleansed part of Bat and those who follow him there. So, if you're continuing with your game, this can affect other aspects and other Septs, other places later.
That's solid. That's good. Again, Aegis, thank you for those, man. Those were good. So we'll go on to the next one. This one's from Ghostpaw. Shockingly didn't have like 42 of them this time.
Well, he's been pretty busy.
Yeah.
It's always great to hear from Ghostpaw, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This book says, the players run across what they think is a lost cairn. The mighty tree outside's awake, but everything else is asleep or dormant. There are 2 people asleep inside, and a great bear spirit is curled up around the tree outside as well. Kind of vague, but,
Also, it immediately makes me think of something. When was this posted?
This one was... Oh, shit. Mid-September.
The 16th.
Huh?
So, a couple days ago.
We have to go with the bear escape from the circus. We have to go with it. I have to lean into that one.
I fucking do
The
it.
bear escaped, and he has his little bicycle too. You just have to lean into the curve, bro.
No, I don't. I don't have to lean into anything, you son of a bitch.
I think the people that were sleeping were clearly forest rangers. And,
Was their picnic basket stolen?
say that again.
Was their picnic baskets?
Take 3.
Was their picnic basket stolen?
You said that's
Jesus
so weird.
Christ.
I know, it is. It's fine.
Sounds like you escaped from the circus.
Maybe I did.
That's 2 lists there.
The entire
That's 2
next
lists.
episode.
That's how I'm going to talk.
That's right.
Okay.
Alrighty. Yeah, they are clearly forest rangers. No, this is very reminiscent of
Yep.
something that's going on in our postmortem series.
I know.
Ghost Paw.
I kind of guessed it's where he was taking this.
CJ or Grant, go ahead. I have to steer this away.
So one thing that I would go, with realistically, you have a lost Karen, and then you have a bear. So a bear spirit. So obviously there's going to be some type of tangential ties to the Garal. And I would actually have it be Garal Karen. And then maybe that's one of the last remaining spirits, like that was a guardian, the spiritual guardian of the Karen. And they find it and they fuck up and they wake up this bear spirit who kind of like sets off alarm bells throughout the Umbra to get some of these really strong, very pissed off Grawl waking up from the hibernation of ages. And then the pack would have to deal with the fallout of that, of 2 or 3 very pissed off rank 4 or 5 Grawl coming out of nowhere. And I would probably tie it into Savage Age as well and make them Stone Eaters so that we'd have Grawl that were part of the Gru Nation. Now they've woken up and they expect to be treated like rank 4 and 5 members of the Gru Nation.
I was mad at you for a second, but then I flipped because if they were hibernating that long, that would make sense. And I get that.
I like the words that were said.
It's just the order and they were put is not enticing you.
Well, no, it's 2 things for me. And one I'm honestly not sure about because I'm kind of drawing a blank, but I feel like that I don't... Do Garl have cairns?
They did.
Did they?
So they had den realms.
Like there aren't Bastet cairns. That's not a real
They
thing.
had den realms. But you also have to think, that's the reason why I said tied in with the Stone Eaters, because the Stone Eaters were members of the Guru Nation. So they would obviously have been taking care of the cairns with the Guru.
That's fair. That's fair. Like I said, like Bastet don't have cairns. They have den realms.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. I thought the same thing with the Gurhal, but wasn't certain on that. No, I take your point with the Stone Eaters, and I like that idea. I guess the other thing that holds me back is I hate that concept of I've been sleeping for a couple thousand years, but there's
That's what they did, though. That's what they did.
But there's a level, right? Like
yes.
Sleeping for 100 years, okay. Sleeping for a few thousand, I have more of a problem with, but we're also talking about a game where, like, we're talking about werewolves and werebears, and so, fuck, is that going to be my sticking point? Like, that's the hill I want to die on?
I see it as it only works with Stone Eaters and Gurhal.
Well, there's also the bear blanket fetish that came out of Dark Ages, which is the same principle, but neither here nor there. Apologize. I do like the idea, though. I'm a fan of the Stone Eaters in the first place, so anything that can fucking CJ, if you've got something, by all means. I'm like 3/4 through this fucking idea I'm running.
Okay, this is a little bit of definitely a less developed idea, but part of the thing that I'm thinking of is this was, this is a lost cairn at some point. Bear might have been the totem. And the reason why, Bear is sleeping is the cairn got fucked off. Like, this is the site of a battlefield that had been cleaned up by whatever means necessary. People taken away, whatnot. Cairn was let to fall into disrepair. And the reason why Bear is sleeping is all of the bears that were in this area have been hunted down by either poachers or by systematic whatnot from the people who wiped out the cairn itself. And now, here's this pack finding the aftermath and having to piece bits together because you can't clean up everything. But now they have to deal with, what could fuck off an entire cairn like this and all of its defenders without leaving much of a trace.
This isn't a cairn. This is not a cairn, it's a tomb.
Okay.
What we are walking into is not two random sleeping folk, a couple of lost hippies, or and in the bear spirit that once resided over this cairn. You are somehow you found your way into the resting place of the death bear. The original fucking the however ritual or whatever happened to tie death itself like this to the bear, to create the death bear. The remains of the fucking sacrifice, be it willing or not or whatever, from time immemorial or fucking ancient times. This is it. And that's that spirit. It represents that. Sleeping. The two that are actually sleeping are either its guardians to make sure this isn't disturbed, or a positive and like a yin and yang thing, a positive and negative representation. I'm leaning toward the first. That if this place is disturbed, right? Like you dig down and you fuck with the bones or the remnants or whatever of this bear, you have now fucking severed, you've broken the rules in regards to the death bear. You sever the connection, the rite doesn't work anymore, and you essentially let it loose.
Jesus Christ.
Like removing the Nightmaster's tether to the abyss kind of thing.
Yeah, that could be a lot of bad news bears going on right there.
He said bad news bears. See, just said bad news bears.
You did it. You did it.
And then it goes to the circus and balances a death ball on its nose.
Oh my God. You did it too. God damn it. No, but
we all did it.
Still, that's good.
Listen,
that's...
You're going to have to get in with where you can fit in when it comes to the circus stuff. Because eventually, I'm just going to find it and make it my personal objective to tie in the Midnight Circus with everything. Every single time.
You mean every single
I
time?
can do
That's what you've done the entire time here. You've only done that.
Not
For this
only.
No. I give a legitimate idea plus a Midnight Circus idea.
You give a legitimate idea and then you put it in the circus.
He can do both. It's very talented. He's got a steak knife and everything. He did have a straw.
Just
he was
wait
in a
till the
band.
Galliard episode.
Why'd you throw away the straw? You didn't like being part of the band?
He didn't throw the straw away. The straw got thrown away, though.
Yeah.
She didn't like you
I
being
didn't
part of the band, huh?
It wasn't thrown. No, she didn't like the ghetto kazoo you sent me.
That wasn't us. All right. Well, I mean, we do have a few more, but I think we're gonna save those.
Yeah, we're running short on time today.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, and we know that there are others, and we're saving them. I mean, those will be the first three the next time.
Yes.
We want to thank everybody.
Yeah, all of you guys who did send them in, thank you so much. Big deals, and these are really good ideas this time. Whereas last time, kind of had to manipulate all of them.
Oh, okay. You meant the submissions.
The submissions, yes.
We did a really shitty job last time. There's some really dumb fucking ideas, Porter. I see how it is, Danny.
No. Everyone gave awesome ideas, whereas this time they followed the assignment.
Well, what it is with when you submit those, it is a little tricky because the less details, the better for us because then we can present them. Whereas, and I know everyone wants to
give all of their ideas, and we appreciate it, but
Right. It's coming from a great place.
Yes.
And again, we appreciate the hell out of it.
yeah, and the ones I would say we'll go 90% what was sent in this time.
You barely had to mess with
Yes, I barely had to mess with these. So these were really good submissions. Thank you, everybody. And again, the ones we didn't get to, I apologize. It is timing, but we still plan on doing these again.
Yeah, we
These
got
are
you next
fun
time.
episodes, and yeah.
Yeah, easy for us to do too.
Exactly.
And your top, you guys, the rest of you guys, you're top of the list.
Yep.
And I promise I will go ahead and I will give you a Midnight Circus plug for all three, at least in the Discord, just for Danny.
No. I am going to break his promise.
And make sure that while you're considering what to do with the Midnight Circus, you hop your way over to the Storytellers Vault and pick up a copy of Lepix.
Be
Fine.
much appreciated.
That will fine. We can put those in the circus.
Circus rabbits. Fucking. It's crazy. And you know what? It's just in time for Easter, maybe. I don't know when Easter is. But pick up the book anyway. Unfortunately, that's our time for today. So, Grant, CJ, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with us.
It's always fun. Got a lot of new ideas and stuff to play around with.
Excellent. That's
Always fun to be on. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, of course. We love having you around here, man. So it was fun hanging out. And we'll have to get back together soon to finish off that Hengyokai stuff we were talking.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, with that said, on behalf of myself, Mr. Daniel Tyson, the still missing Tommy Dixon, those posters will go up any day now. CJ and Grant, we want to say thank you for your support. Thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Keep your claws sharp and your head a swivel. We'll see you. Fucking dance, monkey. What's her thing?